Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of Coast Connections. There is a sound wave sweeping this country from coast to coast to coast. Choral groups have sprung up like never before. There's over 40,000 choral groups in this country, including over 300 here in British Columbia. And those are just the ones that are listed on Choral Canada. There's a lot of other groups that have been formed, and we're here to talk with one of the founders of Soundwave right here on Vancouver Island. Welcome, Holly.
Thank you.
Holly Wright, performing artist, musician, guitar player, and choir director. You just added that to your repertoire too.
Yeah, that's a new thing.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on Soundwave. This is the third year for the choir.
Right. Yeah.
And you started it because you saw a need in the community for a little more connection. We're going to talk about the transformative power of music during this session and how people can access their superpowers just by joining a choir.
By joining my choir, yeah.
By joining your choir. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Yeah,
good.
So Holly, tell us a little bit about your musical background. I know you've got some cross-cultural experiences and you actually performed with someone, or someone performed ahead of you, named Kathy Lang back in the day.
I gave her start.
You gave Katie Lang her start. Yeah. I like that reversal.
Yeah, we, I played guitar forever. So I started when I was 7. And the way it was meant that I couldn't afford guitar lessons, so I basically taught myself. Guitar's just been a part of my life, my whole life. And then as time goes on, you become an adult and you start finding your way. I got into songwriting, and by the time I was 18, doing some festivals and folk clubs and stuff like that. And then ultimately, I finally went to school to study music, and I was at Grant MacEwan College in Edmonton, hardcore jazz, which is crazy to go from nothing to jazz. And so I discovered what it was I was playing, and discovered I'm not a big fan of hardcore jazz. So I left that after a year and a half. Anyway, through that, though, I met some people and formed a group, Triforia. And we recorded and we did some touring, and it was my songs, so we just did some very cool harmonies and stuff with my music. Yeah, and then from there, let's see, I guess the next biggest thing was a move to Africa.
To South Africa.
Yeah, went to South Africa, and while I was there, it was my hope that I could record one of my songs with some African voices. The song was called The World Shall Love Again, and I just really envisioned it being very powerful, done with some African influence. Anyway, I met a fellow there, and we ended up forming a group. We took my music, we recorded the song, and then ended up working together to sort of take their choir, the traditional African, with my original compositions. We fused the two sounds.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we created Mameza Africa, and it was amazing. We did. I left Africa in 2006, and fundraised in Canada for almost 2 years, and then brought 25 of them over to Canada, and we did a tour. So that was huge. That was big.
That was huge. And a lot of them had never even been on a plane before.
No.
And so the fundraising that you had to do must have been tremendous to bring this large group over.
It was
get them billeted.
Huge. Yeah.
And then you actually traveled for a few times with them, but you actually went coast to coast across Canada with them.
Yeah, we did.
And to Scotland as well.
Yes. That was an experience. The Edinburgh Festival, Fringe Fest.
Bagpipes and African music and Canadian songwriting.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, well, we should have had a piper, actually. It might have helped. That was an experience. That was tough. That was really tough.
That's tremendous.
Yeah.
What a wonderful cross-cultural and cross-continental wealth of experience that you built there, Holly. Good for you.
I skipped over the Katie Lang thing, but
I'm sure Katie Lang's very proud of you.
Well, that's like 80-something or other.
Yeah,
we were
80s,
buddies.
I think. Yeah. When she
we
was
were
just
buddies,
making her
and
debut.
she said, "Can I be your opening act?" And I said, "Sure."
Oh.
So I was just doing this show, and she was Kathy Lang, and she said, "Can you introduce me as Katie?" Call you whatever you like. So she became Katie Lang. That was her first performance as Katie Lang, and we hung for a while, but we we stayed connected for a while, but then we've just gone our
life
separate
gets
ways. We've
in
grown
the
up.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Holly, you you're the choir director of Soundwave, here based in Nanaimo, but voices from all over the island area here.
Yeah.
What was the genesis of Soundwave?
Well, that clearly I watched too much TV because I saw a documentary many years ago, 15 years ago, I don't know, and it was called Young at Heart. And it's about a fellow who started a choir with seniors, like 80 and up, but the choir was doing rock tunes, like hard rock.
Heavy metal.
And heavy metal, yeah, with a really good band. Wow. And so it was so unexpected. You know, this band starts up and there's all these people in their walkers, their chairs, they're sitting, and they get up and just belt out a song. And a hard rock tune, and it, of course, it just took off. And that choir is still touring today. The Young at Heart choir is still, obviously they've got new members. Their members change, I don't know how often, but they certainly, they change. But it was so powerful. It was such a great documentary. It's like, and when I saw it, I thought, I'm going to do that one day. And lo and behold, some years later, I moved to Vancouver Island, where there's a few seniors, and buy a coffee shop.
Yeah.
And so I come to know a lot of these seniors, and I thought, this will happen. And it actually took me another 5 years after I moved to the island to think, okay, I think it's time. I'm going to put up a notice and see who would like to join this band. And honestly, yes, I toured with Mameza. We put the African group together, but it was always sort of my music, and Jimmy led their choir, and we just did this fusion. Here I'm going to take on this role of choir director, but it's like, gee, I wonder how to do this, because I just, you know, I play guitar, but I have good ears.
Yeah.
I can hear lots of lines and harmonies and stuff like that. So I thought, oh, let's just try it. And I put up a notice and got 28 people the first year. And I put up a notice saying that this is not going to be a typical choir. We're going to do, you know, Bob Dylan and maybe some Beatles or Simon and Garfunkel, stuff from the 50s, the 60s, really classic stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought, I want a good band. The band members have to audition. I want good band members. Choir can be anybody that just wants to sing.
And you've got a 5-piece band.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
So, 28 the first year. And then the next year I had 52. And this year I capped it at 70. That, okay, this is enough. So it seems, in spite of myself, somehow I've hit on something that people like.
And full disclosure, you're at 71, because I actually snuck in this year as well. So.
Okay, 71, yes, and now I have you.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the choir to be in. Yeah.
Apparently. So Holly, the amazing thing about music, and you as a musician, as a performer, is the way that this can transform lives. And what happens emotionally, physically, spiritually, when people gather together to sing. What have you witnessed as a choir director?
Well, I've seen people come from such a lonely place, I won't say empty, but sad or lonely. And honestly, through friendships and feeling there's security and there's a few of us here together, it's safe here, just blossoming, like people, honestly, huge transformations from sad and lonely to I have friends, I'm getting out, I'm volunteering, huge changes. And comments that I receive is like, I might not have really had a solid plan what I'm going to do or how I'm going to do it. It's like, oh, this looks amazing, this documentary is powerful, I want to do that, to here I am doing it, but I'm not really sure how I'm doing it. But I've hit on something, because I do know the power of music, and it comes from deep down, and if it's honest and it's coming from that pure place, people connect. And so I invite you to come feel this music and come be part of it. And somehow we're going to turn this into a choir. And it transforms people. It brings you out of this lonely space. And it lights you up. People, the comments I get from people about how this has helped them to find their voice again, or to this is all for me, and I just leave here floating, you know. I think, okay, this is the right thing.
Right on. And the neuroscience behind singing and music is very much in the media today and very much being studied. And the endorphins that are released, the oxytocin, the serotonin, all of that helps with moods, with lifting depression, with elevating your spirit, better sleep. And just the aerobic side of singing too. You have to very much...
I've discovered that. Dancing around 70 people.
Totally.
No, it's true.
And it takes a lot of lung power, which is good for your heart, which is good for your circulation, which is good for your brain stimulation.
The way you're talking, I should be a lot more fit than I am.
Superpowers. We'll get you a cape soon. But so there's science behind this as well. Like if people are feeling low and they come out to sing, and I mean, people think they can't sing, but everybody sings. You know, we sing in the car, we sing in the shower, we sing when we're gardening, we sing to the karaoke machines. But people say, well, I can't sing. I think we all have a voice. We probably were all sung to, hopefully, when we were children. And that's sort of the first step toward language is music with children.
That's true.
So it's a point of connection that's very, very important, I think, in the human experience, and important in building community. And I think that's exactly what you're doing with Soundwave here, is building community.
That's the fact, I bet you 70% of the people that came to me that filled up the little application thing to join said, I can't sing, but, and they're singing, and we're doing harmonies. I have one song that's 5-part harmony, and they're doing it, and it's, well, you know, you're doing it.
It's amazing because you sort of share the intimacy of your own voice within a group, and then it comes back to you in harmony. And it's like, whoa. We did this. We did this together. And it's like no other experience you can have, really. I mean, it's one thing to sing on your own. It's another thing to have a group experience. And I think the group energy and the group mind, like often you'll forget lyrics and things, but the others will remember, oh yeah, I'm right there, you know?
Oh, it's powerful.
It's very powerful. Now you're taking the power of music to one of the seniors' residences here in Nanaimo. Tell us about the Eden Project, Holly.
Well, after we did our first show, and again, it was like when I first started this group, say there's 28 of us, one of the first questions was, do you want to work towards a performance, or do you just want to sing? They said, no, let's do a performance. Okay, so we did a performance, and we made some money. So it's like, should I divide this up and everybody gets $10, or what should we do with it? We thought, if we continue this sharing the music and the power of music, it was brought to my attention the new Eden Garden Residence, which is a home for people with different forms of dementia, Alzheimer's. And another documentary, going back to that, I watched too much TV, Alive Inside, talks about people with dementia and how the one part of the brain that is not affected or that can still connect is the part that knows music. So what we decided to do with the money was to buy like iPods and headphones. And I connected with people at Eden Garden and said we'd like to make this donation. And then what the family does is they put music on the iPod that's meaningful to their loved one. And it's, again, it's a proven thing how the memory is triggered by songs that, again, it's meaningful, stuff that I listened to when I was 20. And you put this on, and it's something to see the response. Like, it does trigger memory. And so everybody thought it's a great idea. We'll make this donation. We'll further the love of music and the power of music. Except when I said, hey, we'd like to make this donation. They said, oh, we really need volunteers. so the next year then, a group rather large, and we call out, who would like to volunteer. And now we've got more iPods and more headphones, and there's a group from the choir that we go every week, and we just sit with the residents and play music, music with the headphones. And some people, the response might be like one woman really grits her teeth like nonstop. She stopped grinding her teeth and just listened to the music. She relaxed. That was a response. Others are not wanting to. And then there's others. I have one favorite lady who I always seek out. She goes from absolutely uncommunicative, withdrawn, to last week when we danced for the whole hour. And she knew when the song was coming up. She's singing the words. Take the headphones off, and she regresses again. It's amazing. I keep willing. Somebody has got to see this. It's unbelievably powerful.
Wow.
And so now we're doing that. So that's part of and our concert. I guess we'll probably talk about that. But we are continuing to support Eden Garden, and they're always looking for volunteers, and it's quite a place. I mean, you need to be there with these people.
That's so beautiful, Holly. And just to see them come alive like that, and for the families too, to see that connection again with their loved one, that's so powerful.
I would like to, in that way, I'd like to grow it, because right now it's like our volunteers one-on-one with some of the residents, and then the family comes and visits, and they do I don't know what, but I want them to see this, because it's amazing.
Yes.
And I'd love, I hate to leave my special little friend there, because I hate taking the headphones off her, because she's just elated. She's singing, she's happy, the tears, and she's telling me stories from the wartime. It's amazing. It's super powerful.
That's super powerful.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to what's physically happening there in the brain is those, oxytocin's been released, and serotonin, all those good things. And I think it's called the hippocampus in the memory of the.
Remembering all these things.
Well.
I remember studying that. I thought I would take music therapy. I actually, took some psychology in university and did that. And then I thought, what am I doing? I can't be in university anymore. And I left it. But lo and behold, I kind of think I'm in it.
Yeah,
I'm
think
doing
you are.
it.
You are.
Because the things
you came through the side door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got some university there, but I can never remember half those names. So.
You got a stage pass.
That's
got
right.
through the back door.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're using music for premature babies, having the mother sing to the child, and just be there and sing softly lullabies and that type of thing. The time that they're spending in an incubator and some of these NIC ICUs has been shortened just by having that connection.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
And there's also, I heard a story of some people coming out of comas who have been sung to. Somebody was playing Adele for one of their loved ones. Yeah.
I love this song.
Exactly. Woke up, oh, you're not Adele, I'm going back.
Yeah, that's right.
But the power of music,
I didn't know that.
on the brain is tremendous. And so we want to support what you're doing there with the Eden Project. It's your upcoming concert. Tell us about that.
Well, thought you'd never ask. So again, we do one concert a year. We wrap up our season with a grand finale concert.
This is your Soundwave
This
concert?
is the Soundwave Choir, yes. And again, it's 50s, 60s, 70s. It's good, fun music.
It's also
people,
sort of the ages of the singers.
Exactly. If people are looking for a really technical choir, like there's some killer choirs out there that are phenomenally technical, this is not it. This is the fun. We're having an awful lot of fun singing tunes that everybody's like, oh, I love this song, That's what we do. So I suppose maybe because of that, we sold out the first night in 6 days.
And this is a 600-seat.
Well, it's 500, but we printed 450 tickets just because we wanted people to have some elbow room, because we didn't want them, So we did 450 tickets and sold them in 6 days. So we added another night. So now we're June 1st and June 2nd. And Saturday is more than half sold.
Wow.
So, yeah, I haven't got an actual count yet, but it's because it's fun, you know?
Fun,
it's
yeah.
good fun for the audience. You get into it and
Tell us where it's at.
so it's at the Generations Church, which is, I guess I should know the address, but I don't. It's right behind Terminal Mall. Princess Royal Ave.
Yeah,
That's
behind
right.
Terminal.
Right behind
Park
Terminal
Mall.
Mall.
Beautiful
Singing
church.
Christmas Tree appears there every year,
you go.
apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful venue. So that's where we're going to have it. Yeah.
And it's being held in a church, but this isn't a religious choir. I
No.
mean, this is
No.
popular tunes. And
No, you need to find a venue that that has nice acoustics. Churches always do.
They do.
And after last year, like we sold out last year, it was standing room only. I thought, okay, that was 320. I thought, okay, what about 500? What if we try 500? And say it sold out in 6 days. So it's finding the right size venue, and then this, next year I don't know what it'll be.
Yeah, and I say it's not a religious choir, but it is a spiritual experience.
Oh, for sure it is.
Listening to the group and being part of the group
Absolutely.
and leading the group. As a leader, Holly, what are you getting from that experience? You're giving a lot.
Yeah, it moves me. It's I'm very much charged and energized by seeing what's happening, and when people, they all of a sudden it's coming together, and it's these people's faces when they go, wow, like, those ones that said, oh, I can't sing,
Yes.
and then we're doing all these harmonies, and it's brilliant. That energizes me. It makes me feel pretty good. Very happy.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
And your 5-piece band, what's the name of the band?
Holly's Hot Band. We don't really have a name, so they're just Holly's Hot Band. But yeah, so we have Karen Learmont on drums, and Jerry Schneider's on guitar, Ellen Cotell's on bass, and then Peter Gooch is a part-time piano player because he's in my choir, and I need his nice deep voice in the choir. So
There you go. I love that you've got a female drummer.
yes,
Yeah, that's pretty
yes.
cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
That's very good. And how do you select the tunes that the choir's going to sing?
There are ones that Holly considers them classics. I have to really connect to the song. I have to like it enough that that I want to spend some time with it.
Sure.
And it has to have interest. Like I'll listen to these songs, and you can get recordings on stuff, but I have to be able to hear something that's going to be interesting to do with the choir. It has to work with different harmonies, and
Sure.
sometimes I'll copy what the original recording artist did for harmonies and stuff, and other times I'll do my own arrangement. So the song's got to be classic. It's got to meet with. I love it. I need to love it because I'm going to spend a lot of time with it, and if I love it, you're going to love it. If I'm thinking I'm not crazy about the song, but people seem to like it, let's do it, I won't be able to get any passion going. So
yeah, and that's passion is the connection.
Yeah.
And we're the choir's also going to be singing a couple of your original songs too. We won't give anything away, but some Holly Wright originals are also part of the lineup this year.
Yeah, that's this is the first I've had choir members say, "Can we do some of your songs?" And I thought, no, my songs are my songs. That was my show. Now this is this show. But I've decided we're going to do a couple. We're going to open with one of mine, and then we're going to have one a little later on.
Very good.
So, yeah.
Tickets are still available, and the proceeds from the show are going toward the Eden Project.
Yeah.
And covering some of the expenses
we are.
as well.
Yeah, of course we're going to cover our expenses, and we are going to make another donation to Eden Garden. Yep. And I want to talk to them about specific things that we can do. But we're supporting them again.
Wonderful. And are the list of seniors that are part of each Eden Project, is that dependent on volunteers?
As in who gets to listen to the music?
Yes.
No, we literally go to, they're called neighborhoods where they are, and we just literally go and wander through and invite anybody, hey, would you like to listen to some music? And of course, the more we're there and getting to know the residents, we know which ones are going to adamantly say no, and which ones that we absolutely need to go connect with because they love it. But we always try and go to different areas and just check in to see. And again, I'd like to connect more with the families because right now it's almost a separate thing. It's like we're doing this, and the families are doing something separate. I'd like them to
cross connection
yeah,
happening there.
yeah,
because
it's
phase 2.
Yeah,
of the
and
project.
it's growing. That's also taking on its own shape. Again, like I had no idea how this choir was going to go. It's taken off. And same as Eden Garden. It's like, let's start with this and see where it goes. So
love it. Building something from the ground up, and it's really benefiting the individuals, benefiting the community. I love how music it has so many physical and spiritual aspects, like not only for those performing, but those listening as well, and how it helps with memory, the aerobic workout, the connection and community building that you're doing is really important work, Holly. So I congratulate you on this. This was a really bold and brave undertaking. And
sometimes it's good to wander into things naively. Oh, that seems like a fun thing to do.
I can do that.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah. I can tap into my musical superpowers. So good for you.
But,
congratulations.
thank you. Yeah.
There's still some tickets available for the show, and they can get them at Serious Coffee on
Hammond Bay Road, just our location. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't want them bothering other locations, but yes, our location on Hammond Bay Road by the Brick. We got Saturday tickets, and there might even be a couple of Friday tickets have popped up now because people have traded some Fridays for Saturday. But
I'm sure it'll be sold out again. Yeah,
we're headed that way. Yeah,
very good.
Yeah,
excellent talking with you, Holly. All the best with the choir, and may the Soundwave continue across Vancouver
indeed
Island
it will.
here.
Thank
you for what you're doing for our community. It's really important.
Thank you very much.
And if you'd like to join one of the choral groups, check out the Choral Canada website. There's lists there of all kinds of choral groups all across the country, all across the island as well. Nice connecting with you today, and we'll see you next time on Coast Connections.